Hi, y'all. I'm DJ Speed, a sixth-year molecular genetics PhD student at the University of Chicago and a tree conservation intern with the Morton Arboretum. Today, I'm excited to present our novel crosswalking methodology, a data sharing approach to advance threat assessment and coverage of native U.S. tree species developed by the U.S. Trees Group. Guided by the framework laid out by the 16 targets of the Global Strategy for Plant Conservation, Botanic Garden Conservation International and the IUCN Species Survival Commission launched the Global Tree Assessment in 2015 to produce a red list assessment for each of the world's tree species. To date, this initiative has produced conservation status assessments for roughly 75% of the 60,000 known tree species and revealed that more than a quarter of those 60,000 trees are threatened with extinction due to disease, pest, climate change, and overexploitation. While there remains another 15,000 species to be assessed, the current results of the GTA highlights the need to complete these assessments to guide appropriate conservation efforts for the world's trees. In pursuit of this goal, the IUCN Species Survival Commission established the Global Tree Specialist Group, a network of experts who work within their own local regions and institutions to contribute to the global conservation of threatened trees. These experts represent a variety of botanic gardens, herbaria, universities, governmental, and non-governmental organizations. And their aims are to one, promote and implement global red listing for trees, two, to act in an advisory capacity to the Global Trees Campaign, and three, to publish the Global Tree Assessment Report. Our work is a part of the U.S. Trees Group, a collaboration between Botanic Gardens Conservation International, the United States Botanic Garden, NatureServe, and the Morton Arboretum. The goals of the U.S. Trees Project are pretty straightforward. One is to produce a checklist of all native continental U.S. tree species. Two is to produce updated red list and NatureServe assessments for each of these species. And three is to promote information exchange between the red list and NatureServe assessments, which is where we developed this novel crosswalking methodology. We've completed stage one of the U.S. tree assessment project by sourcing data from a variety of public databases, including NatureServe's Biotics, USDA Plants Database, Global Tree Search, the IUCN Red List, Biota of North American Plants, and the Flora of North America. To date, we've identified 841 native continental U.S. tree species using these different databases. To begin stage two of the U.S. Trees project, we first compared the extinction risk categories used by both the Red List and NatureServe and divided them into three main groups. The secure and least concerned group represents those species at low risk for extinction, while the at-risk group represents those roughly 15,000 species that are currently threatened with extinction. The final group, it represents those species that have yet to be assessed or are too data deficient for an accurate assessment. We found that NatureServe's databases had a more complete list of US tree assessments with only about 10% unevaluated compared to the roughly 16% of trees needing evaluations on the red list. To increase the efficiency of red list assessments and reduce the number of efforts duplicated by the red list and NatureServe assessments, the US Trees Group developed a crosswalking methodology to promote data sharing between the two databases. Stage three was the development of our novel crosswalking procedure, and the crosswalking process can be broken down into 6 general steps. Step one is to identify misaligned assessments and check for species that are unassessed or out of date on the red list or simply don't match between our two platforms. Step two is to determine which data fields need to be exchanged between the platforms. For example, the red list extent of occupancy and NatureServe's range of extent are the same field and can be exchanged. The next step is to download assessments and data for species that are updated on NatureServe but not on the red list. After that, we use Microsoft Access to convert our .csv fields to the correct format for red listing. Then we upload these files using SIS Connect, review the assessments, and edit and add supporting data. Finally, we have an expert and NatureServe collaborators review the assessments and publish them to the red list. So with that, what we'd like you to take away from our project is that interagency collaborations are critical to advancing conservation efforts. This collaboration allowed the U.S. Trees Group to ensure assessment categories match between the red list and NatureServe for all 841 continental U.S. tree species. And lastly, that these crosswalking methodologies that we described can be adapted for a variety of databases and species beyond NatureServe and US tree groups. So in case you're wondering how you can help out with the Global Tree Assessment Project, I'm sharing some contacts that you can reach out to become a reviewer for the Global Tree Assessments, as well as the IUCN Red List website so that you can become an assessor for the Red List. And with that, I would like to thank the organizers of AGPA 2021 for allowing me the opportunity to present this project, as well as the US Trees Group for choosing me to represent our group. Thank you for your time.